Good morning, my friends. Welcome to Words from a Friend podcast. I'm your host, Marty Carey, and this is the podcast that follows my book, Words from a Friend, a daily guide to a purposeful life. It's available at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. We are on a 365-day inner journey together, so happy and grateful to have you along. We're on day 85 of that journey, and today's message is living life too seriously. Living life too seriously. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we can do that, can't we? Yes, we can, especially in the times like now. We're all living life too seriously, so too bunched up, too, crunched in fear, too contracted in it, because it's just being shoved down our throat every day, right? That's the matrix. Fear is the matrix. Fear runs the matrix. And so we have to exit from that fear. Fear is an illusion. God does not give us fear at all. Zero. It was a survival tool. Come to earth so you don't get eaten by bears. That's it. But then people knew that they could wield it as power. And it's like, well, listen, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to slaughter you and this whole village. Hasn't that been the way? Wielding fear as the way? Living life too seriously is living life in fear. It really is. Because when you're the light, you're lighthearted. You see things the way they are, and you say, well, I'm the arbiter of what I let into this shell of mine and what I don't allow in, right? I allow the light to come in. That darkness and all that stuff that I used to get into and all that stuff, now, nope, got no place anymore. Got no place. I can see it for what it is now. Not serving what's good. Not serving what's good for me and my family or for the world. Not serving that anymore. I'm not serving it in the way of, I'm serving the fear, right? No way. Serve God. Serving God is serving the light. It's serving the truth. If you want truth in your life, if you want truth in your relationships, if you want truth in your business, if you want truth in all of it, integrity, honor, the good stuff, the real thing, then you got to kick the fear out, because fear is what brings in all the bullshit. Brings it all in, all the stuff you don't want, including all the stuff you say you don't want. You're just fearing it. Oh, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. Remember, you're the creator. You are the creator. Don't create with fear. Don't paint with fear. Don't paint your life with it at all. It's a shitty color. It's a shitty color. You don't even know. It's just not a good one. So it's the light. We paint with our light. Paint with our light. Okay, we all understand being serious. We all know that there's even different levels of this particular energy when we ourselves have become it. At mild levels, we use serious as a focusing tool. I got to become serious about this homework of mine, or I'm never going to get it done. I want to watch that, or I want to scroll through, but I got to get serious. I got to get this done. I have to focus. Well, really, that's what it is for your whole dream, your dreams and your goals. It's just to focus. Stop diverting your attention. Well, the matrix relies on our attention. Fear relies on our attention to it. But once we end our gaze of it, and that lens as our daily lens of life, and replace it with the truthful lens, you don't need any. It's already here. The truth is already in here. You don't need a lens. But when you're going to see anything through that, see through the lens of light, and you'll find it. The doors will open for you. They'll open for you when you're serving that. You'll see your doors open a lot quicker. And the ones that aren't meant for you will close, And so don't be disappointed if some doors close for you when you're first kind of walking this way. Because it's just, listen, if it's not meant for you, the door's going to close. If it's not meant for your growth, your personal growth, the door's not going to open. Okay? But that doesn't mean anything. It means keep walking. Keep walking. I got a better door for you. You're walking with me now? I got a way better door for you. All right? You're going to love it. Stay in that. Stay with me. Stay walking in the light. All right? Just get out of fear. Stay out of the news. You listen, you can keep up with it. Like I said, keep up with it if you want for 10% of that day. And then the rest of it, God's taking care of it anyway. God's taking care of it, But individually, what we do, we stay in our light. We anchor our light. And that's what helps bring truth into focus for all of us to see. We see the truth, that it's ugly what this place has been. But we are the revolution. The light is the revolution. The light over all of it, shining out for all its glory and ugly. And then we go, yuck, no more. Nope, not in my family, not in me. No longer in my garden, none of it. I'm growing great stuff in my garden from here forward, and it takes the light. It takes knowing the darkness. Okay, we know it. We've lived it. We've lived enough of it. And now we say, no, I'm not living in those old habits. I'm not living in those old ways, in those old places, in those old things that brought me down. It's how you rise. It's how you rise, becoming your best friend, be your soul's best friend. Let your soul take the wheel, okay? If we decide to stay in serious during our tasks or thinking, however, if we decide to stay in our serious during our tasks or thinking, however, serious tends to attract some other similar energy friends to the party. Well, that's what it is. You get serious, you get all dark about stuff, and then other people feel like, okay, well, this guy's mad, so I'm just going to kind of come close, and then you got to be mad too in order to tend to this person's anger, all that stuff. Now, you can be the shifter of all of it, right? If that takes you over, you can shift yourself, right? So that the good energy stays in the room, so the task of whatever you're doing and focusing on stays good, stays here as much as you can. You got to get away, take a rest a little bit. That's okay. Don't quit. Just rest. Come back. Get back into it. All right? That's really how good tasks work. If you're focused on something creative and you start getting tired and you start getting not as good at it as you want because you're tired, that's when you get away from it. That's when you get away from it. You go for those things that you want to do when you're at your best, right? So those artistic things. And sometimes you don't even feel like doing them, but when you start doing them, you just take a couple of strokes of that paintbrush or whatever that creativity is, it pulls you in. It pulls you in. So don't not do it because I don't feel like doing anything today. I guarantee you, if you get creative with something and you just start doing it, start that pencil drawing something, next thing you know, you feel like doing it because the creativity will pull you in. It'll pull you in. Okay? But that's your soul. Your soul is the most creative part of you. You're attached to the universal creativity of all that is, that builds worlds. You're that. You have that much that much power that we just have never been told. We've been squashed down like little bugs. You guys are nothings. Do what I say. The ant farm. So this is what it's all about. Living life too seriously means you're caught in your ego. You're caught in your ego. Okay? Because your light would say, okay, lighten up. Lighten up. God's directing your steps now. You don't have to carry it all. You do not have to carry it all, right? Carry your light and watch what that brings. Use your light and watch what that brings. Okay, you're your own magician when you understand the power you have. You have your own wand. It's called your love. It's called your love. And when you learn to weave that into your words and how you speak, and then into your actions and what you put into the things that you do, there's nothing else you need to do. That's it. You put your light into the world. Bravo. Bravo, my friend. That is what you came here to do. The other stuff is stuff that you either got to learn from. Yeah, mostly just to learn from. So you can be more of an observer than a participant a lot more. Stop yapping so much. We don't learn when we're yapping. We learn when we're listening. A lot of yappers out there just love to yap to hear themselves talk. That goes on all day. But the yapping on purpose is helping to spread the light. Yapping with purpose. Yapping with purpose. That's the next podcast. Yapping with purpose. All right, but that's really what this podcast is. I'm just yapping with some purpose, right? So that you can understand yours. You can understand your power, your light, your way up and out of old crap that's just weighing you down. All right? You're everything you need, my friend. You're everything you need. You just need to know. You just need the new map. It's going to point you right back to your heart. Is where it's going to point you. Okay. Let's see. If you're not mindful and present to your own energy in these moments, you will always become the reaction in human form and flailing actions. You know this person. It's you, right? Me too. It's what we've all learned to become in these times. We all have the ego. We're all like, this is how we defend ourselves. I've watched everybody defend themselves this way. It's just a big F you, right? That's it, right? It's either, hey, listen, if you're not loving me, that's it. Screw you, right? So, but there's not going to be a lot of that in your life if you're the presence, if you're the presence. Yeah, you're not going to be living in that, hanging around that, or any of that stuff. You're just going to be, that's who you are as you walk. When you're at the grocery store, you're saying hello to the lady there, a little nice chit chat. How's your day? Good stuff like that. Just spreading it, simple stuff wherever you go. Just the energy of it, just the calmness of it. Because what the world wants is for us to be is never calm. never centered, never in our truth. Do you get it? The world wants us not to be in our truth, because when we're in our truth, we can't be controlled. We don't need to be. we're God's energy incarnate. We know what we're supposed to do and we're not supposed to do. We need no governing when we all awaken. There's no governing needed of us. We're self-governing. The light is self-governing because it wouldn't do anything to harm anything else. It's a growing, it's an expanding light. It's just unconditional love. So there's no fear in that at all. There's no fear. There's no need for fear. There's no need to cause fear. There's no need to live in fear. There's no need to spread fear, because we all understand in the light that it's a stupid illusion. El stupido. It's only here in this world for us to learn from. All right? And once we exit it, then that's it. We've brought the light to the world. We've brought heaven to earth. Casting out fear and knowing who we really are as the universal presence of love in a small capsule for a little while, right? We're just adding those capsules together in truth. Say, no, we're banding together in truth and saying, get the hell out, evil. Get out, darkness. Your day is done. It's done. That's it. That's our mission. That's our mission. So take it to work with you. You know, it's no big overt thing. It's no big overt thing. It's just don't get into skirmish. There's no need to. Just be the beneficial presence. Try that on for size. You're really moving back home. Moving back home. Right here. That's the walk home. Walking from ego and duality back home into singularity with the one. With the oneness. The oneness that has all the best thoughts, the best ideas, the best imagination for what we should have in our beautiful lives and what we should need in our lives to make it more beautiful, that is just gifted to us without anything but asking. Without anything but asking. And then expecting that to show up in some form or fashion, because we know that we're the light and we can bring those things into our life. We can pursue them, and once we pursue good things in our lives, those good things come back and start pursuing us. When it's right, when the vibe is right, when the intention is good, when the intention is for oneness, for harmony, for peace, for community, for unity. Yeah, that's the stuff that's going to expand in the new world, because that's what is expanding the new world. The truth above all the lies and misperceptions and prejudices and stories. They're all stories of stupido that we latch onto and believe, and then we create a label around it, and then we defend the label. And that's how we separate. And that's how they separate us. Let's create a new label for this. And then we say, they need special rights because I've created a new label. Or we've just slapped a label on to ourselves that just puts us in a singular box rather than the expanse of who we really are, which is, you can't even imagine it. Like I say, in this human mind, you can't. So you're going to have to take your soul's word for it, that you're way bigger than this human character that you're playing. Way bigger than that. Okay, way brighter. You see, serious energy like this can be very needed and helpful in life-threatening situations. You be serious, but it doesn't mean frantic. It doesn't mean panicked. It means calm, centered. Like, you are a person who's been trained to be like a fireman or a paramedic. They're not going in there panicked at all, because they've been trained to stay in calm and to get right down to the focus of the business at hand. The business at hand. And that's what we can do. When we focus our attention on anything, we can get to the business at hand and fix something, solve something, create something. We have all of that power in us when we train ourselves. And we train ourselves not to be distracted and to be focused in a direction that we want to see our lives go in. So that could be anything. It could be, I want to learn to play the guitar. I want to learn to be a paramedic, right? When you learn to train yourselves, and in learning those emergency services like the firemen, son of a gun, they go right in there, man. They go in there. They got their tanks. They're going in there to save people. They're going in there to help. Right? And they're brave as son of a guns. They are, right? I hail those guys. Man, they've trained to be that way. And then you see them like, I was at a wedding once, and my buddy Tommy, who was a now retired Troy fireman, we're sitting in there, and some lady across the way, 10 tables over, she's choking. My buddy didn't waste 1 second. He had a piece of steak heading for his mouth. He drops his fork. He gets up. He goes over. Out comes the chunk of meat from her mouth. The day is saved. Just comes back over, starts eating his steak. Like nothing. Like nothing. And I'm like, I love my buddy, Tommy. He's somebody that saves people. You know? It's great. It's great. So, but you can do that in your own way. You do that in your own way. You save people. You bring people off the ledge in your own way with that. And anytime you're a beneficial presence and you're not taking things too seriously and you're helping other people not to take things too seriously, well, then you're bringing light. You're bringing light. You're a help. You're a beneficial presence. Okay? That's your true nature. That's your true nature, is light. Light is beneficial. It is the beneficial presence. God, Jesus, the way, the source, the light. Same thing. Okay? All right. So, let's see. Because constricting energy of any kind limits you to your human self. Constricting energy. Fear and its bandit. Guilt and shame and anger and resentment and bitterness. They're all friends in fear. Fear of something. Fear of lack. Fear of loss. Fear of something. You're limited in some way. You can't get out. You're trapped. All that stuff is bullshit. It's bullshit unless you don't make it that. You got to make it bullshit in your head. You know, I can't do this anymore. I'm not believing this anymore. I'm leaving this come hell or high water. I'm leaving this. And I'm going to live a better life. I'm going to live a brighter life. I'm going to start serving myself. I'm going to start exercising. I'm going to start living better. I'm going to start getting more sleep. I'm going to start, my days are going to be more meaningful, more purposeful. I'm going to get up in the morning. I'm going to have more drive. But I'm the project. I'm the project and the outcome, right? And I'm the way forward in doing it. I have that energy and that power in me to do just that. So don't waste it. Don't waste it elsewhere on non-meaningful stuff. Work on yourself. Work on that project of you. Work on releasing more of your light. You're going to feel better, and everything in your life is just going to get brighter. That's the promise. And listen, I had to do it for myself, and I did it. And, I'm not saying every day is bright and rainy, bright and unicorns. So that would be untrue. That would be untrue. But I do my best. And I still do my best to keep my words impeccable, my thoughts in line with what God says, and in faith, that no matter what I'm facing, God's going to bring me through it, up, and on my way forward again. On my way forward again, because there's something in here that I either need to help with, need to learn, all of the above. It happened. All of it is in there, in those tunnels that we go through, those tunnels of times. There's lots of wisdom that you're going to pick up in there. So open your suitcase. Don't be closed in there. Don't be stuck in fear in there. Don't be too serious in there. Okay? This is let the light in there. Okay? Somebody cracks a joke, you laugh. And it's okay. It's all right because God's seeing you through it. God wants you to laugh again too. All right? Stay the course, my friend. Light will see you through it. Stay close to it. Stay warm in your own light and the light of those around you. Okay? So what you really need is expansive energies. Well, what's the most expansive energy? The universe. And the universe is made of what? The closest we can describe it is unconditional loving energy, creative energy. It creates worlds, creates galaxies, created Earth, created you, created me. And here we are, conscious beings in a physical suit for a little while to have an earthly experience. If we don't think that's crazy enough, if we don't think that's crazy, that's pretty freaking wild, is it not? We're like spacemen and women. We are, having kids here on a planet, and then we go back home to some other place called heaven, a dimension that's just all light and love, right? We're here just to learn. Our kids are here to learn. We all chose to come here to learn, but not only to learn, but to grow. And not only to grow, but to expand the light of this place. But because that's what the universe does. That's what the universe wants. The light is order. The light has order. It takes the chaos and it turns it into order, alchemizes it into order that we can all live in, laugh in, and love in. And that is why we're banding together in truth over politics, truth over labels, truth over, everything that separates us. All the stupido ego stuff. Okay? We're remembering. We are remembering, my friend. And if you're along in this ride, you're there too. You're there too. You're either curious about it, you've been in it a while, you want to do more for it, You want to do more for yourself and your family. You want to become a better version of yourself. All of the above. All of the above is part of why you're here. Okay? So you're it, baby. You're it. You're a star. You're a star. Start wielding your life like that. Start wielding your life with that star energy that you know is in there. You've just been afraid. You've been stuck in the cocoon. Rip that sucker open. Rip it open, shove one wing out, and then have that wing pull your other wing out and pull you up out of that. All right? You're born to fly. You're going to fly today. Get out there and do that in the world. Okay? Bring the world your best self today. Much love, my friends, and we shall see you all tomorrow.